Quad66, you vote, I listen. So I recently put up a poll, and the poll didn't really have much instructions, but the general gist of it is, did you want to see a 3.5-inch project, or did you want to see a Whoop project, or content, or whatnot? Both of these ideas or projects that I have kind of in mind are both interesting to me, and I wasn't really sure which one I wanted to take on next. Now, with the 3.5-inch, the idea behind that, by the way, this is the aftermath of the last video where I was trying to split S into power loop. Got the camera pretty good, still works. Canopy held up fine, so that's good. But especially with this Nano 90 camera, the weight is getting really high on this 2.5-inch, and so the idea is, well, if we're going to really optimize around HD, I think it really starts to work, or it'll really start to work better once we get to a prop size that's just going to have better, disc ratio, disc to weight ratio, and I think 3.5-inch. And so I kind of started mocking this up and looking at how this might look. And so that's one of the things I kind of want to work on at some point, is getting this 3.5-inch platform going. The other thing was whoops. So this channel has not been heavy whoop because I don't fly them as much, but I really like this whoop a lot. So this is a little 65mm build with 0702s running bi-blades, and when I finally got it down to this weight with the 0702s and really nice minimalist build with minimal canopy, I really liked the way this started to fly. It started to fly really well. But the one thing I didn't like so much about it is when I looked at the logs, it's kind of dirty. Not horrible, but I feel like we could probably do better. And so the question is, can we do better? The question is, can we start doing things like the fractal? And this is nothing new. Fractal, I think people have been doing, even before fractal, who was, oh shoot, there was one brand or kind of designer before fractal. I'm blanking on it right now. But anyways, people for a while have used carbon fiber frames and put little ducts on them and stuff like that. But I think it's really been popularized by fractal. And so I'm not like, this is nothing novel. I'm not coming in here and saying, hey, this is my idea by any means whatsoever. But my focus on it is, if we go to carbon fiber, can we actually get a meaningful performance benefit? Because this to me is like, in so many ways, it's kind of ideal. It's fine. Like, you're not, the plastic frames are cheap, they're durable, and the only thing I think that could be improved a little bit upon them is possibly getting better, getting cleaner builds out of them, getting a little bit more control over the noise. So I was kind of skeptical, though, that you could take carbon fiber and add a bunch of ducts and stuff like that and get the weight to the same place. And I was really kind of hesitant to do that because I really like the way this flies at the current weight. So for this quad, my dry weight, this is at 18.5 gram build, and I really don't want to go any heavier than that. Now, obviously I could cheat and use a different camera and drop some more weight and give myself some more room, but that's sort of cheating in my mind. But so I was kind of skeptical that I could get a carbon build to the same weight. But I had this frame sitting here. This is the idea with this frame was to do the diamond board, and somebody asked me at some point in time to specifically do this frame. But I figured, well, I have it. Let me see how much it weighs. But before I do that, let's start with a plastic frame, see what it weighs. So I gotta kind of reassemble this because obviously I already cut it up. But what I was kind of interested is that these ducted frames, so this is the Meteor 65 frame, comes in at 3.3 grams. And then our carbon fiber frame comes in at 1.46. But what happens if we start adding all of the stuff on that we need to fly the quad? So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 nylon screws. Those don't weigh a lot, it's 1.65. Add on some nylon nuts. So this is 1, 2, 3, got a fourth one here somewhere. 4 nylon nuts. And we're still looking good on weight, 1.73. We need some rubber bands to hold it on. So these are 2 of these braid hair tie rubber bands. And we're at 1.9. It's like, okay, we got some room here. And then we start adding the ducts, right? And these, I think with some frames, you can probably get even less duct. So this is the duct from the Meteor 65. And because of the way they shape the struts, I feel like, I don't think using just this little wedge up front is enough. I think you need a little bit more than that. But some of the other frames, you might be able to kind of trim off a little bit more. So for example, on this Happy model, and this is obviously a different size, but this Happy model, I feel like you can probably get away with, just a little bit less material. But anyways, there could be some weight savings. But as we start adding these on, so it's 2, 3, 4. Where do we get to with our weight? 3.49. So that's not that bad. That is only 2/10 heavier than the plastic frame. So I think at 2/10, I think I can work with that. But the next question obviously is going to be, well, if we do all that, is this actually going to give you any benefit in terms of a cleaner, cleaner logs, less noise getting in? And I'm not sure if it will. Now, obviously, this one, I gotta do a little redesign on this to add the 4th mounting hole, because if we're using a regular woot board, we certainly don't want to leave off that 4th hole. This is cut pretty thin. I'm assuming this is probably, I think it's probably 1.5 millimeter. So there's not a ton of, let me check the size of it too. I think this is no. So this is actually slightly bigger. So this is like a 75 millimeter. Let's see if it's actually 75 millimeter. I did this so long ago, I don't even remember what it was. Yeah, this looks like this is a 75 millimeter frame. So maybe the frame would actually get it even slightly lighter. We go down to 65. So I should have actually been cutting up. I'm not going to cut it up, but because I only have one of these 75 millimeter frames. But I don't know. I feel like there's probably enough room. So I think next step is to go ahead and get this carbon fiber frame cut. Actually going to downsize it to 65 millimeters. Get that 4th hole on there. Build that up and see if the logs are any cleaner. Alright, so a bit of a preview, bit of a tease here, but sometimes that's what content is, right? Nothing of value just yet. Alright, till next time, cheers.